Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is completely vanquished, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Sorry, I messed it up a little bit. Sorry. Premananda Pathaya Prema Varshi Aksharayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostate. O Srimad Bhagavatam, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. By reading you one attains transcendental bliss, and for your syllables rain pure love of God upon the reader. You are always to be served by everyone, for you are the incarnation of Lord Krishna. So let's continue. Thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas, for joining. We are reading Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. Before I begin, I would like to encourage everyone to please attempt the quiz for the previous 4 chapters. I'm not sure if you got a chance to look at that. It won't take more than 15-20 minutes for all 4 chapters, but it will help you, and then you can share your score also. I got 1 wrong in the 4 chapters, so please share. Please go through that. It's fun. You can go as a family, share with your husband, wife, children. It's nice. It will help us, and it's all spiritual. So please go through that, and you'll like it. We are reading chapter 5. Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. So we read till text number 10 yesterday, that after Prahlad Maharaj told Hiranyakashipu the best thing to do is to go to forest. For a person like you who is so attached to the body, you go to forest and take shelter of Vishnu. Well, he didn't like the idea and started laughing and said to his assistants, check out what's going on. Is some Parapaksha people coming, like Narad Muni or some Vaishnavas? Maybe they're coming in disguise. You don't know, they're very intelligent. So, and then Sanda and Amarka ask in a very nice way, oh Kurunandana, oh Vatsa, please tell us. We are your teachers. We are eager to hear about this. So let's see what Prahlad Maharaj tells them. Shri Prahlada Uvacha. This is text 11. Parasvascheti asadgriha pumsam yanmaya kritaha vimohita dhyam drishtas tasmai bhagavate namaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prahlad Maharaj replied, let me offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose external energy has created the distinctions of my friend and my enemy by deluding the intelligence of men. Indeed, I am now actually experiencing this, although I have previously heard of it from authoritative sources. Purport: as stated in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakeva Panditaha Samadarshinaha. The humble sage, by the virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater, outcast. Panditaha, those who are actually learned, the equipoised, advanced devotees who have full knowledge of everything, do not see any living entity as an enemy or friend. Instead, with broader vision, they see that everyone is part of Krishna, as confirmed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishner Nitya Das. Every living entity, being part of the Supreme Lord, is meant to serve the Lord, just as every part of the body is meant to serve the whole body. As servants of the Supreme Lord, all living entities are one, but a Vaishnava, because of his natural humility, addresses every other living entity as Prabhu. A Vaishnava sees other servants to be so advanced that he has much to learn from them. Thus he accepts all other devotees of the Lord as Prabhus, masters. Although every one is a servant of the Lord, one Vaishnava servant, because of humility, sees another servant as his master. Understanding of the master begins from understanding the spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. I'll stop here. It's a longer purport. So Prahlad Maharaj begins to reply to his teachers, who were asking him very politely, and they were thinking that if we kind of glorify, His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj was explaining that if someone glorifies the other person, and then they kind of share their heart. So it's a good way to open the heart. And in His Holiness, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj told some of his other sannyasi preachers who went to European countries before Srila Prabhupada came to United States, that you go and tell these people that you are great. Oh sir, you are great. And glorify them. And then they will become receptive to you. So we can use this, although here they have a hidden agenda. But this, if someone genuinely does that, then it opens up the heart, not to have any false agendas, but genuinely from the heart. But here Prahlad Maharaj is saying that this distinction is basically by the illusory energy or the external energy of Maya, to consider who is friend and who is enemy. Someone is friend, someone is enemy. But a learned person does not distinguish. He sees everyone as part and parcel of the Supreme. So that's the great thing which Srila Prabhupada has given us. This International Society for Krishna Consciousness, where everyone addresses other male devotee as Prabhu, and other Matajis, other female devotees as Mataji, except for one's wife. The point there is not just the lingo. Sometimes, grabbing the external lingo is easy. Oh, everyone is calling other with Prabhu, so better I call Prabhu because I won't want to be an outlier. I don't want to be look differently. That why are you not calling everyone as Prabhu? Everyone else is calling. But the point Prabhupada is explaining here, that we should consider other person as master. Because why? A Vaishnava sees other servants to be so advanced that he has so much to learn from them. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was seeing good in even the worst. On the contrary, Duryodhana would
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, someone called me and then this app gets disconnected, so that kind of trumps this app. So sorry about that. But I think I covered this section. So the point I was making was that there is so much to learn from other Vaishnavas, and when we call someone Prabhu and or Mataji, we should genuinely look for good in their Vaishnava qualities. Everyone has certainly a lot of great qualities which we can learn from. So that is the mood of a devotee. And that way we are not just, speaking the jargon, Prabhu or Mataji, we are genuinely meaning it by considering them as our master and us as their servant. So we have to always remind ourselves of these jargons or lingos so that we can truly mean it, like Dandavat Pranam we discussed a few days back, Prabhu, Mataji, etc. So we can truly mean it from the heart, as Prabhupada is teaching us here. Okay, let's complete the purport. Would someone like to read, please? Who didn't read yesterday?
Yeah, I can read.
Okay, please.
Hare Krishna devotee. Continuing the purport. Sakshat Dharatvena Samasta Sastre Ukta Tata Bhavyata Eva Sadbihi Kintu Prabhor Ya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Sri Charan Ravindam. The spiritual master is supposed to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari Krishna. The spiritual master, the servant of God, is engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord, namely delivering all the conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya in which one thinks. This person is my enemy and that one is my friend. Actually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a friend of all living entities, and all living entities are eternal servants of the Supreme Lord. Oneness is possible through this understanding, not through artificially thinking that every one of us is God or equal to God. The true understanding is that God is the Supreme Master and that all of us are servants of the Supreme Lord and are therefore on the same platform. This had already been taught to Prahlad Maharaj by his spiritual master Narada, but Prahlad was nonetheless surprised by how a bewildered soul thinks one person is his enemy and another his friend. As long as one adheres to the philosophy of duality, thinking one person a friend and another an enemy, he should be understood to be in the clutches of Maya. The Mayavadi philosophers who think that all living entities are God and therefore one is also mistaken. No one is equal to God. The servant cannot be equal to the master. According to the Vaishnava philosophy, the master is one and the servants are also one. But the distinction between the master and servant must continue even in the liberated stage. In the conditioned stage, we think that some living beings are our friends, whereas others are enemies, and thus we are in duality. In the liberated stage, however, the conception is that God is the master and all living entities, being servants of God, are one. So in this continuation of the verse, so the spiritual master is being described in the initial part. He has to be honored because we take up a spiritual master to whom we become disciples, and then the spiritual master is actually representative of the Supreme Lord. So we have to treat him the same way. And so even all the scriptures acknowledge that. The other part is that the people always think about so-and-so being a friend and so-and-so being an enemy, and that's because we're all people under the spell of Maya. The other part is that people also think there are also Mayavadis who think that everyone is God or equal to God. So this is also total misunderstanding and is wrong. So, so as long as it says here, one thinks of sticks to duality, then all our deductions from that are completely wrong, and we have hatred and love and all kinds of things. But really, we should be equipoised, and that's how a conditioned soul thinks of everything as a duality. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nicely you made all the relevant points. Anyone has any other comments, questions? I really like this line. Understanding of the master begins from understanding the spiritual master. So therefore, it's very, very important to accept a bona fide spiritual master. Okay, let's read the next verse, text number 12. And this is again a very long purport, so maybe we'll split in 3-4 sections. So would someone like to read the first paragraph and the verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I would like to read. Everyone, text 12. Sa yadanu vrataha pumsam pasu buddhir vividayate anya esha tathanyaham iti veda gata sati. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with the living entity because of his devotional service, one becomes a Pandita and does not make distinctions between enemies, friends, and himself. Intelligently, he then thinks every one of us is an eternal servant of God, and therefore we are not different from one another. Purport. When Prahlad Maharaj's teachers and demoniac father asked him how his intelligence had been polluted, Prahlad Maharaj said, "As far as I am concerned, my intelligence has not been polluted. Rather, by the grace of my spiritual master and by the grace of my Lord Krishna, I have now learned that no one is my enemy and no one is my friend. We are all actually eternal servants of Krishna. But under the influence of the external energy, we think that we are separately situated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead as friends and enemies of one another. This mistaken idea has now been corrected, and therefore, unlike ordinary human beings, I no longer think that I am God and that others are my friends and enemies. Now I am rightly thinking that everyone is an eternal servant of God and that our duty is to serve the Supreme Master. For then we shall stand on the platform of oneness as servants. So I'm stopping here and giving the summary. So here Prahlad Maharaj teaches that the priest demons Sanda and Amarka and his father Hiranyakashipu, they are very surprised and ask him how he get polluted. And then Prahlad Maharaj, as a very unalloyed, pure devotee of Lord Krishna and a really learned person who has true knowledge, is telling to them that he is not polluted by spiritual master Narada Muni and his Lord Krishna. So here, and he is explaining to them that we are all the servants of the Lord, and Lord is the master. So all of us are the servants of Lord, and He is the master. And this is called oneness as servants. So this is the summary of what I understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, would someone read the next portion?
Prabhu, one quick question, Prabhu. Here and previously you also mentioned that influence of the external energy. What is it, external energy, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice question. So external energy is the material energy, also referred to as Durga many times, which is there to make us, to give us, different kinds of, problems or anxiety, so that somehow we can take shelter of Krishna. It is there to cover, because the reason we want to come here is to enjoy separate from Krishna. So therefore that illusory energy covers us so that we can think, oh, I'm God, oh, I'm the best, oh, I'm great, and I will enjoy here. All this is forgetfulness of Krishna, receiving so many problems, adi bhautik, by other living beings. Like, this coronavirus is also part of that actually. A small tiny being causing so much stress in the whole world. Adi atmic, caused by one's own body and mind, like stress, hypertension, depression, etc. And then Adi Daivik, caused by the demigods. But actually this is all by the illusory potency. These are like the three forks of Maya, or the illusory energy, also referred to as sometimes Durga Devi or Kali, Chandi, Bhadrakali, etc. But she is also a servant of the Supreme Lord, and she also works under the direction, like a jailer. Like a jailer in a jail. The jailer in the jail is not same as the prisoner in the jail. The prisoner in the jail has gone because of the bad activities, but jailer in the jail is a appointed representative of the government, not because he has done criminal activities, but the government has appointed the person to reform the people in the jail. So that's the purpose of the illusory energy or external energy. So somehow people can take shelter of Krishna. That's what she really wants, and she gives challenges to us so that we can be revived or remember what our true state is and take shelter of the bhakti process.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's helpful.
Thank you. Let's read, and if we have more questions, we'll come back. Let's complete this purport. So someone can read the next two paragraphs.
Can I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vaishnavas, all glories to God. Demons thinks of everyone as a friend or enemy. But Vaishnavas say that since everyone is a servant of the Lord, everyone is on the same platform. Therefore, a Vaishnava treats other living entities neither as friends nor as enemies, but instead tries to spread Krishna consciousness, teaching everyone that we are all one as servants of the Supreme Lord, but are unlessly wasting our valuable lives by creating nations, communities and other groups of friends and enemies. Everyone should come to the platform of Krishna consciousness and thus feel oneness as a servant of the Lord. Although there are 8.4 million species of life, a Vaishnava feels this oneness. The Ishopanishad advises ekavatam anupashayata. A devotee should see the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be situated in everyone's heart and should also see every living entity as an eternal servant of the Lord. This vision is called ekavatam, oneness. Although there is a relationship of master and servant, both master and servant are one because of their spiritual identity. This is also ekadvam. Thus, the conception of ekadvam for the Vaishnava is different from that of the Mayavadi. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, next paragraph, someone?
I can continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Devotee, Dandavata Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj how he had become antagonistic to his family. When a family member is killed by an enemy, all the members of the family would naturally be inimical to the murderer. But Hiranyakashipu saw that Prahlad had become friendly with the murderer. Therefore he asked, "Who has created this kind of intelligence in you? Have you developed this consciousness by yourself? Since you are a small boy, someone must have induced you to think this way." Prahlad Maharaj wanted to reply that an attitude favorable toward Vishnu can develop only when the Lord is favorable. Sha Jada Anubrata. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the friend of everyone. Churidam Sarvabhutanam Gyattamam Shanti Mitchati. The Lord is never an enemy to any of the millions of living entities, but is always a friend to everyone. This is true understanding. If one thinks that the Lord is an enemy, his intelligence is Poshu Buddhi, the intelligence of an animal. He falsely thinks, I am different from my enemy and my enemy is different from me. The enemy has done this and therefore my duty is to kill him. This misconception is described in this verse as Veda Gatasati. The actual fact is that everyone is a servant of the Lord, as confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jibeor Swarup hoy Krishnar Nityadas. As servants of the Lord, we are one, and there can be no questions of enmity or friendship. If one actually understands that every one of us is a servant of the Lord, where is the question of enemy or friend? Hare Krishna. So here in this paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about Hiranyakashipu was thinking that who induced that thinking of that Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all the other living entities are servants of Krishna and they are one, equal in that respect. So here Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is the friend. Shuridam Sarvabhutanam Gyattamam Shanti Mitchati. And first line in Bhagavad Gita, it says that Bhoktaram Jaggatapasyam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. He is the supreme enjoyer. He is the Bhokta of all sacrifices. At the same time, he is Shuridam Sarvabhutanam Satyattamam Santimichati. He is the friend of all living entities. And Prabhupada is saying here that when we think that Lord is our enemy, that is a Poshu Buddhi, the intelligence of the animal. Why Prabhupada said that is Poshu Buddhi? Because the animal, they don't have that ability to think about who am I, what is the relationship of mine to Lord, or what I am doing here. But other things, the four basic principles of life, or the animal has that, like eating, mating, defending, and procreation. Human beings, they can think about that who am I, what I am doing here, what's my goal of coming here, and how I can help myself, why I am getting all this kind of misery, as Prabhuji was telling that Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Doivik. How can I get rid of those things? So animal cannot think those things. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that Poshu Buddhi, because they cannot think. That's why. And as Prabhupada is also saying that misconception is described as Vedo Gatasti. So Prabhupada again reminding us that all of us, we are servant of the God. And when we think about that, we cannot differentiate even between the devotees. As a devotee, one time His Holiness Prahlad Maharaj was saying that even if we chant 16 rounds and if we think proud of ourselves, we are feeling better than others, then we don't need to chant 16 rounds. He was saying that, so that is, even if we do devotional practice, we cannot think about others as inferior to us. And Prabhupada is here on and on, he's saying that we need to think that all of us, we are servants of Krishna. And that Prabhupada, by his example, he didn't discriminate. And we see that Maharajas, they don't discriminate. Even if someone do the pujari service, or someone does the cleaning of the bathroom in the temple, most menial service, but all of us, we are doing the service to Krishna. So there should not be any discrimination. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, back to you, please, Edward.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Let's read the last section. Would someone like to read that last paragraph?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. Hare Krishna. Everyone should be friendly for the service of the Lord. Everyone should be praise another service to the Lord and not to be proud of his own service. This is the way of Vaishnava thinking, Vaikuntha thinking. There may be rivalry and apparent competition between servants in performing service, but in the Vaikuntha planet, the service of another servant is appreciated, not to condemn. This is the Vaikuntha competition. There is no question of enmity between servants. Everyone should be allowed to render service to the Lord to the best of his ability, and everyone should appreciate the service of others. Such are the activities of Vaikuntha. Since everyone is servant, everyone is on the same platform and is allowed to serve the Lord according to his ability to conform his Bhagavad Gita, Adhyay 15 Shlok. Sarvasya chaham ruddhi sannivishto matah smriti gnanam pohanam cha. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart, giving dictation according to the attitude of the servant. However, the Lord gives different direction to the non-devotees and devotee. the non-devotees challenging the authority of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Lord reacts in such a way that the non-devotees forget the Lord's service, life after life, and are punished by the law of the nature. But when devotee very sincerely wants to render service to the Lord reacts in different way. As the Lord says, Bhagavad Gita, Adhyay 10, Slok 10, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajitam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayani te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Everyone is actually a servant, not an enemy or friend, and everyone is working under different direction from the Lord, who directs each living entity according to his mentality.
Thank you, Mataji. We see by the size of the purport how much Prabhupada is emphasizing on this point. This verse talks about so much about so many different topics, that Vaishnava relationship, or how a Vaishnava thinks of other devotees, or how a Vaishnava always looks for good in others and has no enmity. The Prabhupada is mentioning there is no question of enmity among servants. So that's Vaikuntha atmosphere. That's the Vasudeva Kutumbakam, where we give up all the false designations. I am rich, I am black, I am white, I am young, I am old. All these sarvo upadi vinirmuktam, be free from all the other upadis. And where everyone comes together, free from enmity, chanting, dancing, worshipping the deity in different way, and that's basically festival. I was just hearing the Chandan Yatra lecture when the great sage, the great Sripad Madhavendra Puri, he dreamt of the deity. There was a festival there, and it is mentioned that festival there were different devotees who had different strengths. That deity was very, very heavy, so the skinny brahmanas could not pull the deity out. At that point, the muscular people were required who could pull the deity out. But when the offering was to be done, then the brahmanas were doing offering. But when the song was to be sung, then those who sang nicely were engaged in. Then cooking, the devotees who cooked nicely were done. So everyone has their own special flavor. But when we all come together without any false designations, without, oh, I am better than you, oh, how can you do this service, I will do this service because I am better than you. That's not the Vaishnava mood. Vaishnava means free from envious nature, nirmatsaranam, seeing everyone with equal vision, not seeing with because he is from North India, I am from North India, so he is my friend, and someone is from some other part of the world, or he is not my friend. That is Pashu Buddhi, that is bodily designation. That's what is condemned here. So we should not distinguish on these parameters, because if Prabhupada would have distinguished, how would he have created this international society? He just fanned this spark, as we were discussing the other day, seeing good in everyone and fanning that to bring out the best. One time, His Grace Rishikesh Anand Prabhu, the great businessman who was a devotee in Mumbai, very, very extraordinary, rich because of his extraordinary business. He and his driver were dancing together. Now, in ordinary terms, certain, like a business tycoon would not dance with his driver in ordinary material life. But in the temple, they were dancing together, and the temple leader commented that this is Vaikuntha atmosphere, where we give up our false designation. Outside the temple, they may be doing their respective duties, but temple is free from those designations, or should be free from those designations. And on the opposite side, there is another story which tells this is how this would not please. One time, two disciples of the same Guru were serving the Guru by massaging, one massaging on the left side, other massaging on the right side. But they both were not very mature in their understanding, and they just had a desire, oh, the Guru should feel that I'm doing better, and the other one says, I'm doing better. So this ego, this puffed up nature who wants to always get the credit that I'm better than you. So let's just imagine this situation, the disciple A on the right side and the B on the left side. Now, to prove the disciple A who's on the right pinches the Guru's leg on the left side, so that the Guru would feel that the other disciple has pinched, but I am massaging nicely. And then the disciple B sees this whole thing, and then he pinches on the right side even harder, and then the A gets frustrated. Now A pinches on the opposite side, on the left side, even harder. And what is happening in this? They are both who are supposed to serve the massage the legs of the Guru are pinching him harder and harder. And what is happening? The Guru is suffering. What is the purpose of seva? To please the Guru. And what is happening? To please my false ego. So both examples are relevant to understand that Vaishnava atmosphere means freedom from envy, freedom from this nirmat saranam. That is very much appreciated in Vaishnava circles, and that's what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching. There is nothing like a friend or enemy. All this is in the material world. But in the spiritual environment, or one who has attained that stage of pure devotion does not distinguish. Any other comments? Anyone has any questions? Okay, one last verse and then we will stop. Would someone like to read, please?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 13. Sha esho atma sha parati abuddhi bhi durattaya anu karmanu nirupayate muhanti yat varmani vedo vadino brahmaddo hi esho bihi bhinati me motim. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada with joy. Translation. Persons who always think in terms of enemy and friend are unable to ascertain the super soul within themselves. Not to speak of them, even when exalted persons as Lord Brahma, who are fully conversant with the Vedic literature, are sometimes bewildered in the following the principles of devotional service. The same Supreme Personal Godhead who has created this situation has certainly given me the intelligence to take the side of your so-called enemy. Purport. Prahlad Maharaj admitted frankly, my dear teachers, you wrongly think that Lord Vishnu is your enemy, but because he is favorable toward me, I understand that he is the friend of everyone. You may think that I have taken the side of your enemy, but actually he has bestowed a great favor upon me. So, in this verse, again, the Prahlad Maharaj, out of devoid of duality, as a great devotee who sees super soul in every living entity and treats every living entity as in Greater Brotherhood. He was telling that so-called gurus, Shiksha gurus, that though you think the Lord is enemy, but he is the friend of every living entity, and he favored Lord Prahlad Maharaj to learn the supreme truth, that the relations of the Lord and the other living entity, as well as the Lord is a master and other living entities are just servants, so all living entities in the same platform, and there should not be no enmity or friendly differentiation. So Prahlad Maharaj telling that knowledge also came from the Lord, and that he taken that God's mercy upon him because he got the right knowledge. Back to Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else has any other comments and questions?
Haribo, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry. I don't know, I was on another phone, and I guess I couldn't say something. In the last verse, I mean, you covered many points, but there were two other points to kind of we can. It comes out about the oneness as a servants, because Mayavadi can be say oneness means we all are one. We all servants are one, and we merge into one. But here, what he's saying is oneness means that we all are different, we all are individual, but we all have the same goal to serve the Lord. So this is an important point. He's mentioning, Srila Prabhupada mentioning the purport. And another important point was that here, Prahlad Maharaj, he in the middle of the paragraph, I think in the second paragraph from the last paragraph, he says that the Prahlad Maharaj wanted to reply that an attitude favorable toward Vishnu can develop only when the Lord is favorable. And this is an important point, because without the Lord's mercy, we cannot progress in the devotional service. And of course, by the mercy of the Lord and mercy of his pure devotee. So here, that's what Prahlad Maharaj is mentioning, that we can perform the devotional service, but if of course we perform devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master, then that itself will be favorable, and Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Lord will be pleased, because we are under the direction of the pure devotee, we are continuing devotional service. So that's also an important point. And in this verse, as Vipul Prabhu already mentioned, but the point Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is mentioning that even the knower of the Vedas are bewildered about the path to attain me. He's saying, Lord is saying. So what to say of all these fools? You silly fellows, he's telling ultimately to Hiranyakashipu, that they are even bewildered about Bhakti Yoga. And we know what the Mayavadis, they learn the Vedas, they are expert in the Vedas. But without the Bhakti, they cannot understand the ultimate Vedasya Sharham Vedyo, to know the ultimate goal of the Vedas. So these are some of the points. There is so much philosophy in this purpose. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So we will pause here and continue tomorrow. Mantra Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavas namo namo. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.